Hey guys, it's Silk here again, and today we're going to talk about tile capacity, and we're going to talk about how to work within it, how to increase it. And it may seem counterintuitive, but when you actually want to work at your capacity, not be able to take tiles. Let's start with the basics. We all know that tile capacity sits up here at the top. What you may not know is you can filter this list down here to see how many you've got. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But in order to get this capacity up from the 30 something that you start with, a bit like my age, you can actually get more tiles through completing chapters here. And down the bottom here under your guaranteed rewards, this little one at the right here tells you how many you get for completing that chapter. Also, you can increase it through your operational tech tree by bringing up this astral supremacy. You need to get up to about, I think, level 45 or 50 to max that out to 10 on there. So those are your two ways of increasing this capacity here at the top. So what do you do when you're reaching capacity? I'm coming quite close here now. So what I'm going to do is bring this up. I'm going to put my filter on. I'm going to remove everything that's in here that's of a high level that I want to keep. And we're going to look for my lower level tiles. And we're going to have a quick look and see how many we've got to dump, and it's not too many of the 40s now. We're reasonably well advanced in the season. I don't want to drop that one there. I do want to drop that one there. I don't want to drop this little one here because I've got a ship sitting on there and that'll go back to the base, so do keep a lookout for that. We've got a gas tile down here somewhere. I'm not dropping that because I've got a ship sitting there, so that would be a little bit unproductive. So I'm going to bring up my 60s now. We'll have a quick look at that. And yeah, I've got a stack load of these that we can get rid of. So we're just going to have a little look around the map. Most of these were in my start zone. I've since relocated my base and I pretty much don't need a lot of these. And the reason I don't need a lot of them, oh my gosh, it's yet another restart on the zooming in and out of the map. What a time for that to happen. Just bear with me, I'm going to pause and we'll get back in a sec. And we've done our restart and we'll get right straight back into that. This map zoom thing is doing my head in, honestly, it's driving me nuts. Let's have just a little look through here, find out where we've got these tiles. I don't really need that one. We're just going to drop a few more of these off, and 15 minutes for each of those to drop, and we'll be back in business. Now, the other way to drop these, apart from looking at it doing directly on this filter here, is to click on the tile and tap this little red one here, and we can do that automatically. I'm just going to bring the filter up because that's much quicker for the number of tiles that I want to get rid of. We'll just drop a few more, and there we go. We're underway fairly shortly. That tile amount that I have there will drop down to below 200, and I'll have enough left to path with to new tiles for my larger units to come and take. So currently we're just pathing our way up here with some of our lower level ships so that the big boys can come and get themselves a little bit more experience. Basically that's what you're aiming for. A few of your ships as pathers, one or two of them that you'll be leveling up on the larger tiles. So that's basically that for your own tile management. But the other reason you might actually want to reach your capacity is because when you do that, you'll get a little warning notice that comes up that tells you you're at tile capacity, you won't take it. What actually happens then is that you could theoretically hit a tile, take out all its defenders, but not actually receive the tile, and that tile then will be left without any defences for the next 15 or so minutes unless you pulled a 5-minute draw on it. Where that really comes in handy is the really big guys in your group could then theoretically, if they're feeling friendly enough towards you, actually hit some 300 level tiles for you, and they would sit at capacity, not be able to take the tile, and then someone else with just a few strike craft on any ship can pop in and take that. So that's a great way for the bigger guns to help out the rest of their group. So there's a reason there why you would actually want to operate at tile capacity, but in the general rule of play you wouldn't. And in fact, when you get to player versus player warfare later on, you're actually going to need maybe 20 or so tiles spare, perhaps more, but 20 is a minimum, because you'll be involved in blocking people as they're trying to make paths towards your lines. You'll be involved in taking their tiles on the way, and if you're running as a lower level player, like a free-to-play player or a low spender, up against some really big guys. One of the best things you could do, if I was here, for instance, and somebody was coming down from the top here towards me, I could just send out a few really low level ships, take all these tiles around here, and then this guy coming towards me has got to waste all their stamina taking those tiles en route to get through to me. So you do need to keep some spear when you're getting into PvP. That'll probably come a little bit later in the server, but in the interim, just work on that tile management. Use the filter, it's really handy. It takes you directly to a tile. You can decide whether you want to drop it or not from inside the filter there. It's much easier than just kind of hunting round for them. And yeah, go and nudge your big guns and tell them that you've watched this vid and that there's a way they can help you to get a 300, which you can then go out and perhaps you can go and do war games on. And war games on a 300 level tile, I think it's getting you something like 20 or 30,000 experience for your ship. That's really going to help the little guys out. So there we go, that's tile management. That's all from me. Thanks very much for watching.